In 2024, Life University marks a significant achievement, celebrating 50 years of devoted service to the community, guided by our core value of lasting purpose. As the president of this esteemed institution, I'm honored to contribute to preserving and furthering this extraordinary heritage. Come with us on a journey through 5 decades of progress and innovation in research, athletics, education, and beyond. These represent some of our proudest accomplishments and showcases, yet there's so much more we would like to share and much to look forward to in the many years ahead.
Life University is celebrating its 50th year, and Life University has had a major impact on shaping the chiropractic profession, not only locally, but certainly globally.
Lasting purpose is more of a verb than a noun. It's what we do. And it grew out of the concept that you don't live life for your practice. You live life for a greater purpose, to give, to do, to love, and to serve.
Before Life existed, there was a group of chiropractors that were attending meetings led by Dr. Sid Williams. They were called DE meetings. They had a meeting in Ormond Beach, Florida, and Dr. Sid Williams walked the beach with maybe about 15 of those doctors. He told them, "We're going to start a chiropractic college." And they said, "Are you kidding? We're going to start?" Really?
And so it became necessary, if we wanted to preserve the philosophy and this whole thing, we were going to have to do something. And so under the leadership of Dr. Sid, we had a lot of general discussions. And going on for maybe a 3-year period, we would be meeting in Ormond Beach, where we all would vacation together with our families, and we'd have this general discussion about what we could do. And basically, when I say a general discussion, it was like your father saying, "This is what we're going to do."
Dr. Williams had built an incredibly successful business, had multiple clinics all over Atlanta. And so they came to the conclusion Atlanta would be the place to be. And Dr. Sid and Dr. Nell would be the people that would start the process. In 1974, the program opened, and history began.
The student body would line up if they wanted an adjustment, and they'd just come through my office and we'd adjust everybody. The initial, 18 students that we had, we invested every ounce of our blood, sweat, toil, and tears into them. And we knew what we wanted them to be and what we wanted them to get out of this process. And that there was a hell of a lot of water to go under that dam between here and there. But we knew what we wanted to do, and we worked very hard to make sure they got what we wanted them to get in that regard.
So if they had to rearrange classrooms, if they had to create bookshelves, if they had to do the maintenance in the area, that's what they did, because they all believed in what Dr. Williams wanted to build and were willing to do whatever it took. And then in 1977, the first class graduated, 35 doctors of chiropractic. Enrollment grew up to 1,800 students, and that made Life University the largest chiropractic program in the world. All these people that came together, that had the vision for life, shared a common theme that wasn't chiropractic. It was about how they lived their lives. It was a process of giving and doing and serving and loving.
Life University always wants to try to find ways to give back. It always does that in kind of a creative way that you might not expect. Lights of Life is a major holiday display that they do every year on campus. That's why Lights of Life is a big deal for us, and it's been pretty much indicative of Life University's DNA from the beginning.
Athletics were a major part of the expansion of Life Chiropractic College into a university.
I was past 30 years old when I started school here, but nobody was talking about athletics when I got here. But if you're going to go to school, you're a 20-year-old and you'd like to have just a more full college experience. I understand that if you have a better sports program, you're going to attract more and more people to the school.
Dr. Williams saw athletics as a way to reach out into the community, to build a reputation for the school.
Roger Kaiser, who was a very extraordinary Georgia Tech basketball player, came on as the director of athletics, and he began a basketball program.
We would be on bus rides together, and he'd go, Dr. Sid just called me, and we now have a soccer team. Dr. Williams just called me, and we now have a track team. Dr. Williams just called me, and he said, life needs to start a rugby program.
One of the things that Dr. Sid was always very interested in was being able to compete at a level to beat the Palmer rugby team, which had been around for a lot of years.
The only thing I ever heard from Dr. Williams is, whatever you do, beat Palmer. I don't care what it takes, but whatever you do, you have to beat Palmer. Now we're in the top 1, 2, or 3 in all of the Division I rugby programs in the U.S. Dr. Williams saw what he wanted to do. Through the years, the basketball team and the track and field team and the rugby team became recognized around the U.S. and even internationally. That grew into Dr. Williams' idea about how to get involved in the Olympics. We had, I think it's 90 or 94 teams on our campus, training in our gyms, training in our weight rooms, training on the track, all in anticipation of the Olympics in 1996.
1996 is when Life Chiropractic College actually transitioned into Life University. And that was done as we also added the Sports Health Science Master's Program. That was really the point of delineation where the Chiropractic College had then morphed into Life University, and we began to offer progressively more and more programs.
In the late 90s, our basketball team played for the national championship at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Oral Roberts University had a set of praying hands at the entrance of the university. When Dr. Williams arrived, that was very impressive, that it really set a tone in his mind. The decision was made let's make a significant entrance to the school. And the bell tower itself is really built as a memorial to the chiropractors who literally went to jail for practicing chiropractic. The presumption in most states was the only person who could take care of people was a medical doctor. And so therefore, if you were doing something to take care of sick people and you weren't a medical doctor, then you were practicing medicine without a license. And so chiropractors were arrested, put in jail. Dr. Williams had a great respect for the history of the profession and where it came from. And he wanted to build something that truly was a lasting memorial to those people.
I actually was born into chiropractic. My father was a 1947 graduate of Palmer College and one of the original fighters fighting for chiropractic rights in New Mexico. My dad said, why don't you go to Palmer, since you don't know what you're going to do ultimately, knock out a year of chiropractic school. I was there for 3 quarters getting ready to leave. We got some extra credit points if we'd go hear a speaker one night. And I sat there for 4 hours. I couldn't tell you one thing that he said. I just knew that at the end of it, I was going to be a chiropractor for the rest of my lifetime. It is the joy of my life to have something to do that I believe in, has purpose, and makes a difference in the world.
My whole life has been about chiropractic. Even my daughter, who passed away because 2 MDs screwed up, I got my last few days with her because of a chiropractor in California. So everything that's important to me in my life is from chiropractic.
The 2020 plan was really focused on creating a walkable, livable campus. And so I looked at pictures of what it looked like before I came in 2013. I saw so many of the change that occurred. Obviously, the Light Village Retreat was a big deal because, beautiful 2-bedroom apartments for our chiropractic students. The building of the outdoor auditorium, the Standard Process Outdoor Auditorium, beautiful facility to host events that support our alumni and our students. The Harris Center, we saw the evolution of the Harris Center, which really was the creation of a state-of-the-art testing center for our students when they transition from the academic to the clinical side. We built this beautiful facility with Lyceum Dining Hall. And the Commons is now a beautiful undergrad building.
I think I started in clinics in 1995 when we had 3 clinics at that time. The one that is currently our CC Hop, which is our student clinic, was the main clinic for all of Life University. And that's where all of our outpatients were seen. We also had the North Clinic, which was up in Canton, and we had Lucky Street, which served downtown Atlanta. And we were seeing an incredible number of patients in that clinic. I can remember literally tripping over patients and interns as we were trying to get supervised adjustments. It became obvious that we needed a separate building in order to house all of those interns. And that's when the idea of CHOP came up, which is Center for Health and Optimum Performance, getting away from quote-unquote the outpatient clinic and turning it into a little bit different environment where we're really looking at the overall health of the patient body. This gave us an opportunity to do that in a much bigger space in a much more efficient way. I do believe that's what sets us apart. We have a very, very robust supervisory program with quality assurance so that these interns are getting the best opportunity to take care of their patients.
The LifeForce mission statement is, we will not stop until everyone on the planet has access to chiropractic care and a chiropractic education if they so choose. When I took it over in 2017, we went through a complete rebranding of LifeForce. We dropped the name 1000 because we said, why stop there? We want to grow bigger. We're nearly at 1,600 doctors and chiropractic advocates since then. And it's anybody that belongs to LifeForce that is passionate about LifeForce, who's passionate about chiropractic, who's passionate about Life University and wanting to change the world.
When I went to school here, we had cadavers. We had 3,000 people in the program, so these cadavers were well used. And it was really difficult to find what we needed to find. And somebody came up with the idea of anatomage, which is essentially a giant iPad. On this iPad, you can see all the layers of what would normally be a cadaver.
Anatomage is a virtual dissection table. It was designed initially about 20 years ago. And they spent about 10 years perfecting it because they were kind of inventing the wheel as they went.
The way students learn today, having the use of these anatomage tables has actually improved their learning outcomes. They have a better understanding of how the human body works.
We have a robust history of conducting really some fundamental studies for the profession. We've been able to really grow research even beyond what research was being completed in the past. So we're looking at ways to map the chiropractic adjustment and really create a legacy database for masters in the field.
One of the great tools that's been created by our research department is what we call PAT. It stands for Palpation and Adjustment Trainer.
It's a human simulation that includes a 3D printed spine inside of a lifelike substrate. So we worked with Special FX Studios, Andre Freitas, and he helped us design a skin that feels a lot like human tissue. And then through a series of chords and tensions, we were able to create spinal segments that feel and can mimic the actual vertebrae of a patient. So it's really been able to help us advance our students' learning overall.
Dr. Scott moved through administration of the university and other universities too, he gained a knowledge that was unbeknownst to many other people ahead of time. And under the tutelage of his predecessor, Dr. Riekman, he was able to go ahead and learn to steer this university and be part of its fiber. His very fiber is part of what Dr. Scott's about. He truly, truly believes, and I believe this from my heart too, that he is here to go ahead and make this institution a better place and this world a better place. And that's Dr. Rob Scott.
Today, Life University remains committed to producing leaders who exemplify humanistic values. In a world where change is constant, we aim to provide innovative approaches to direct that change to elevate society and evolve its healthcare system. We want every individual who is part of the Life community to feel supported and know that they're appreciated. It's how we demonstrate our lasting purpose, giving, serving, loving, and doing out of one's own gratitude and abundance from an inner-directed life.
The Generations Wall really is about helping students see families who have continued through the years, generation after generation after generation. We're not here today by ourselves. There are people that were before us that made it possible, and they're going to be people after us. I think is all part of the plan that what we do will leave a legacy. Life has made its mark around the world in a lot of different ways.
In the next 50 years, I see a culture that is experiencing the awareness that there's a higher level of life that is available to us.
We have not yet reached our potential. Our systems, our philosophies are different than everywhere else, and I think our chiropractic program is probably the best in the world.
Every day, we're finding new ways to improve people's lives and to make our communities better places to live, work, and thrive.
Through our research projects or research initiatives, starting to break down this vitalistic perspective that we have, that will be able to change the healthcare dialogue.
Life University was able to help me to find my purpose in life. It is what gets me up every day, and it is what motivates me to come back to the institution every day to help those that also want to be part of this journey.
A little gem hidden in the South, right? That biggest little school in Georgia. Very proud to be there.
We should take pride in what we've accomplished so far and use that as motivation to continue to strive for even greater success. The same determination and perseverance that has gotten us this far will be crucial in turning future challenges into opportunities and reaching new heights. It's also important to remember that growth and progress are not achieved alone. It takes a strong team and community working together towards a common goal to truly make an impact. As we move forward, let's continue to foster a supportive and collaborative environment that encourages innovation and drives us towards our collective goals. So as we embark on this journey into the future, let's carry with us the lessons learned from the past, celebrate our achievements, and embrace new opportunities with determination and unity. Together, we can accomplish anything. So here's to another 50 years of growth, success, and making a difference in the world through lasting purpose.